This video was intended to inform and educate the public.
What you gonna do?
The car was driven by an LAPD sergeant. Let's show you some video from court this afternoon of that LAPD sergeant, Carlos Coronel. He was arrested, according to the LA Times, at Newton Division. According to the Times, hours after that accident Saturday morning, he went to work at Newton Division, and that's where he was arrested.
What you gonna do when they come for you?
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video here on the Junkyard News. And in today's video news story, we have LAPD sergeant arrested for fatal DUI hit and run, but will justice be served? That's right, a Los Angeles police sergeant has been arrested in connection with a deadly hit and run that ended up taking the life of a 19-year-old man early Saturday morning in Tustin. Now, Carlos Coronel of Buena was booked into Orange County Jail on Sunday, according to court records. Now, he is accused of hitting 19-year-old Imanol Salvador Gonzalez of Santa Ana just before 4 a.m. Saturday near Nisson Road and Del Amo Avenue, according to the Tustin Police Department. Now, when officers responded to a person down in the roadway call, they saw the victim and debris from a car, indicating there was potentially a hit and run that had occurred. Now, using vehicle debris that was left at the scene, investigators later determined that the suspect vehicle may have been a black 2021 Chevrolet Silverado crew cab pickup truck, and the registered owner of the vehicle was Coronel. Now, Coronel was already due in court on Tuesday afternoon on a probation violation stemming from a prior DUI arrest in 2011. Of course, Coronel pleaded no contest to a misdemeanor count of driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs on September 24th of 2011. According to the records from the court, Coronel was originally sentenced to 129 hours of community service but failed to complete them, and his probation was revoked. Now, when first responders arrived on the scene of this accident, they located the victim as Santa Ana resident Imanol "Manny" Gonzalez, and he was suffering from major trauma. Unfortunately, the Orange County Fire Authority paramedics had to declare the 19-year-old deceased at the scene. Now, Coronel, who joined the LAPD in 2008, again has a previous arrest for DUI back in 2011. So here we have an LAPD sergeant who has a prior DUI arrest, was originally placed on probation, never did his community service, and after the accident got up and went to work the next day like nothing had happened, like he had not just killed a person. Just like every other day, get up, go to work, not caring that he had potentially taken a life earlier that same morning. News reports say that the sergeant was taken into custody on the probation violation at his place of employment. I wish I had video of them putting him in handcuffs in his uniform at his job. Do you think the family of this young man is going to see justice? Is this LAPD sergeant going to get special treatment for this vehicular homicide while under the influence? How much jail time, if any, do you think he is going to get for this event? Comment what you think below. Once again, we have a public servant who they claim is supposed to protect and serve the community, who knows driving while intoxicated is not only against the law, but you would think he would know better. And look what happens. You end up taking a life. And now your life is forfeit. I personally hope that this sergeant is one of the few that are actually held to a higher standard and ends up getting significant prison time for this. You took an innocent life because you decided to violate the law while being a law enforcement officer Then you had the audacity to get up and go to work the next day like nothing had happened. You know, when he got up and got ready and started heading out to work, even if he honestly didn't remember, due to being intoxicated, of having an accident earlier that morning, you would have to think when he went out to his vehicle to go to work, he would have seen the damage to the vehicle and wondered, what the heck happened that night? And actually made a report of some type about it, but no. Thank you again for watching this video here on the Junkyard News. My prayers go out to this young man's family. Be careful, people. I'm telling you, the next interaction you have with a Leo could have you highlighted in our next video. Thanks again.
Family tells me they just learned this morning through a different news outlet that their son may have been killed by a police officer with the LAPD. They say knowing that it may be someone who's supposed to be protecting public safety makes it so much worse. Imanol left his home Friday night for a walk, something his family says was routine. Around 1 a.m., his mother, Ariana Salvador, called to check in.
Como a la 1 de la mañana todavía le hablé y le dije, Imanol, ¿estás bien?
But she says he told her he was on his way back home, but he never made it. Less than 2 miles away, near Del Amo Avenue and Nisson Road, a car came out of nowhere, hitting and killing him. The driver never stopped.
Y lo dejó ahí tirado.
The Tustin Police Department later identified the driver as 40-year-old Carlos Coronel, a sergeant with the LAPD.
He's supposed to be a public servant, supposed to, keep the criminals off the streets.
And this isn't his first run-in with the law. Records obtained by NBC4 reveal Coronel was convicted of a DUI in 2011. LAPD Police Chief Jim McDonnell had a few words to say about it.
We want to be able to focus on talking to our own people. They're under tremendous stress and deal with it in different ways. This is not the way to deal with it.
Police are still investigating what led to Saturday morning's crash. But for Imanol's family, the pain of losing their oldest son is unbearable.
19-year-old who was killed in this. You're looking at a picture of 19-year-old Imanol Salvador Gonzalez. His friends call him Manny. On Saturday at about 4 in the morning, he was in Tustin near Nisson and Del Amo when police say a car struck him. Police were called about a person down in the street over there. They got there, and that's when they found Gonzalez in the street. He was killed in that accident, but according to the LA Times, the car didn't stick around. The car took off, and it was later determined the car was driven by an LAPD sergeant. Let's show you some video from court this afternoon of that LAPD sergeant, Carlos Coronel. He was arrested, according to the LA Times, at Newton Division. According to the Times, hours after that accident Saturday morning, he went to work at Newton Division, and that's where he was arrested. We're still waiting for confirmation on all of that from some of the different agencies involved, but according to the Times, that's where he was arrested. Some searches we did of the Orange County court system showed today that he has a previous DUI back in 2011. He was arrested by the CHP in Buena Park, was put on probation in that case. The reason he was in court today was not because of what he was arrested for over the weekend. The DA still hasn't made a filing decision in the weekend case where that young man was killed. He was in court today and in custody for a probation violation stemming from that 2011 DUI case.
He's just the most sweetest boy in the world.
The LAPD put out a statement that says the Los Angeles Police Department is committed to upholding the highest standards of integrity, professionalism, and accountability. We do not tolerate misconduct of any kind, and any violations of department policies or the public trust are taken seriously. All allegations of officer misconduct are thoroughly investigated, and appropriate action is taken to ensure accountability. Our commitment is to serve and protect the community with fairness, respect, and transparency. Now, as far as that court hearing earlier today, it appears that he was sentenced to, I believe, and we'll have to go back and double check this. I was watching it online, but it sounded like he was sentenced to 30 days in jail for the probation violation. He got some credit for time served, but from what it sounded like, he will be in custody at least for the next several days. During that time, it's possible charges could be filed by the DA's office in this other case. We're trying to clarify a lot of that at the moment because we're all getting this information within the last hour or so.
Videos uploaded by the Junkyard News are helped in part by viewers just like you. You can show your support for this channel by clicking the thumbs up, sharing our videos, or hitting that all-important support button on our channel page. Don't want to miss a video or a story? Make sure to check us out and like us on Facebook at The Junkyard News.